From child brides to chain makers, from teen moms to trailblazers, from silence after rape to speeches that shake nations, from forgotten names to forces of history. She rolls beyond trauma, past mistakes, and everything meant to break her. This is the Beyond Her Odds Show. Real stories that inspire you to rise, to heal, to lead. Because if she did, so can you.
Welcome back to the show. And if you're just joining us, this is Beyond Her Art Show. And I'm Raquel Kasham Daniel, but like I say, you can call me RKD. Today, like I said earlier, I have someone whose story I'm dying to share with you. Actually, I don't know how to put her journey into words, but I will just let her speak. So, on our social media, I recall saying this yesterday when I made a post that said, if you've ever heard a story that left you speechless, this is the story. And I have the amazing, we call her the global, global Morenikejimi in the house today. She went from being a house help to becoming a global voice for girls. If you follow her on social media and other platforms, you will see the amazing work that she's doing. She's been through so much, yet she didn't allow any of that to deter her. She's using her voice, being a global voice for girls, and mentoring a lot of girls across the globe. But this morning, I saw her post where she's talking about mentoring some girls across the globe. And I'm like, the global Morenikejimi, of course. If you see her, you would know. You know how they always say, "We don't look like what we've been through." That's us. That's her look. So pretty. And at several points, she told me that she almost wanted to give up, but she didn't. And that's why we're here at Beyond That All Show to talk about and to talk with women who almost wanted to give up but didn't. Because if they did, we wouldn't be on this chair today. And so she has turned her purpose into pain. And today, we're going to hear from her. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Morenikejimi, I want to hear the background. What got you to the place where you are now a house help? How did you get there?
Okay, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm so honored to be here. So it's a long story, but I'm just going to start where I started having sense.
Okay.
Okay, so when I was 8 years old, I was told that my dad family didn't like my mom because she was from Benin. So there's this misconception that says Benin women, they stay husband house.
Wow.
So
Okay.
So they didn't like her, and they fought. They told her about love, and they were like, "Oh, I love her." At the end of the day, I'm not marrying the family. I'm marrying the man. So they started living together, got married, and gave birth to me.
Oh,
So that's backstory.
yes. Okay.
So I just grew up hearing that, and my grandma from my mom's side always tell me that your father's family, they don't want you, so they don't want your mother. So I don't know what happened. My mother's family prepared and took my mother.
Oh no.
So I was 1 month old when she left.
Early.
Yeah, so I was staying with my mom's family. So I didn't really know my dad's family till I was 10 years old when I wanted to enter GSS1. My grandma was like, "You need to know your dad." So from birth to 10 years, I didn't know my dad. So she was like, "Oh, I want you to learn Yoruba. Your dad was a good person." So
Nice.
yeah, so I went to stay with my dad, and I was trying to know him. And prior to that, my mom stopped communicating with her family.
Oh,
So they said like 2 years after she left, she stopped contact. So they don't know if she's alive or she's dead. There's no picture of her. So I just know that this is your family, but there's no picture of my childhood or her. So like, okay, this is what your mother looked like. So I don't know how, how
wow.
she looks like now. So I went to stay with my dad, and my stepmom was terrible. So she felt threatened. She was a Yoruba from my dad's community. So they brought her. So she married my dad. So she was threatened. She didn't just like me. She will not give me food.
Oh
She
no.
will beat me.
Oh no.
If there's no opportunity to beat me, when I'm sleeping, she will pour water on me and tell the compound people that she pees for house. So she would
That's
flog me.
urinated
Yeah.
from the. Oh no.
Like that, yeah. So she would beat me. So she was so mean. And I left from my grandma where I normally go to visit auntie. I was the hardworking girl because if I don't do that, I won't survive. So I used to go to auntie's place to cook, to clean, to wash clothes so that they can dash me use clothes or give me money or give me food stuff.
How old were you?
I started that when I was 8 years.
I know.
So
Young.
staying with my dad, my stepmom don't just like me. So it was so bad that there was a time I poured water on the floor and she used a knife that she was using to cut onion
No way.
to stone me, and my eye got swollen. So I went to school, I covered it, and my principal was like, "What happened?" I was like, "Oh, I used my face to eat the
Of course.
the wall." And she was like, "Ah," because she know my dad and she know my stepmom. She was like, "Are you sure?" So she was the first person to be like that motherly, and she was like, "Okay, tell me what happened." So I told her my stepmom did that to me, and she was so pissed.
It's
And I
so
was like,
sad.
why? I was like, I don't know. That I put water on the floor. So she just developed interest for me, and I was the last to pay my school fees. I was the last to buy. Always send.
That's primary school you're talking about. So.
That was junior
Okay,
secondary.
JSS. Okay,
JS1.
you've grown like you start
Yeah.
level. Okay.
So I was always the one. She was like, "Your dad is an architect. He's not poor. So why are you always?" So I told her that. So she went to, I didn't know that she went to my streets where I was staying, and the neighbors were like, "That woman doesn't like this girl." So she just took interest and told me that
And that's an angel.
I will be paying your school fees
Oh.
and I'll sponsor you. So she started sponsoring me from GSS1. So in third term, I lost my dad.
Sad. Come on.
So yeah, I lost my dad. So before then, I ran away from home because the stuff was just too much. So before then, my dad died, and my stepmom was like, I was the one that killed him.
No way.
Because the day he fell from his sight, I was telling my friend, my neighbor, that my stepmom will be beating me. My dad will not say anything. My dad was so calm, like a quiet person. So because of him, I hated quiet people. Like it was just so peaceful.
Mhm.
So my stepmom would beat me, he won't do anything. I was like, are you sure this man is my dad? Like, so I just hated him. So I was telling my friend that when I grow up, I get plenty money. I'm not going to take care of him. So I was just like, I was a child. I was
so I see
angry.
why she would think that you did that. Oh,
I was
yeah.
angry. So that same day they came, they brought him that he fell from sight. And my friend went to tell my stepmom. So they were like, I was the one that killed him. It was a lot of mental, they were calling me witch. This family was saying that's why they don't like my mom and everything. So it's
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So after the burial, I went back to stay with my grandma. And when I went back, everything from my grandma's end changed. My mom is the only daughter, and she have five brothers. So my uncles just stopped taking care of my grandma. So they left her for me. And then let me say, I was 12 years
I
old.
was about to ask. That's still junior secondary school.
Yeah. I was 12 years old and they stopped providing. So when I went back after my dad died, I started hawking after school. And got so good, my principal was still paying my school fee.
Oh, man's an angel.
So we did a competition in my church, and I was selected, three of us. So my church was still paying my school fees, like buying textbook and all that. So school was not the issue, like going to secondary school was not the issue. But we need to feed, we need to clothe. So I used to hawk. I hawk tomatoes, I hawk yam, I hawk
What didn't you?
drink. I hawk drink. I hawk a lot of things to provide for my grandma. She was hypertensive.
Don't tell me she died.
She didn't die. She died 4 years ago. So she was the only person I had. So I just wanted her to be fine.
Yeah.
So I didn't care. So sometimes when I see my crush, I would just hide when I'm walking.
You even have mind to have
I
crush.
have crush.
Oh my gosh.
So when I see because I don't want to say I'm a bright student, but I was the class rep. So everybody thought my life was perfect. And everybody is talking about, oh, my dad bought me this, my mom bought me this. So nobody really knew what was happening after. So went through secondary school, and I that, oh, do you know what? I'll give you one song.
Come on.
So that was the. Some people were like, I'll buy you food, let me have sex with you. But I just,
That's good.
I was a church girl, so I had by myself. God will end my story. That was what brings. If I don't have sex, I don't follow people. Everything will sort. So I think I was wrong. Just too much. At in 2013, I was like, I'm not going to hockey again. Because the hockey was not meeting my needs.
Okay.
So one day I was coming back from school. I was in senior, and I was in Ring Road in Benin, and I saw that conductors, driver, they used to take kind. They used to
That's like those local drinks,
yes,
right?
kind and cigarette. I was like, and I just was in the shop, and a lot of people were jumping. I was like, let me start this business. So I went to tell my grandma that I think I want to start kind business, and I was a choir in my church. My church was beside my house. I was like, I want to stand for can. My grandma was like, what about church? You are a choir and you are selling, this thing. I was like, so because in church providing my school fees,
At
but
that point. So what happened to the woman?
there was house rent,
Okay, other things, other
yeah,
bills.
house rent, drugs I was providing. So when I started selling cigarettes, and the first night I gained off, I think 15,000.
That's a lot of money.
I'm not going back. So I started. So because my church was close by,
Yeah.
so I used to when it is a Wednesday service, I was time. So I was doing. We did it for like 6 months. Nobody knew. And, and one day, somebody went to tell my pastor. I didn't know. So I went to church normal Sunday, and I was sitting because then our altar, and then my pastor was preaching. Church, and you'll be selling cigarette, you'll be playing.
Oh my God. No.
Drive out. Before you know it, you get pregnant, teenage pregnancy. And, and I was like, if God was this much and at me, I think I've never been that embarrassed.
I'm sure that you feel like the ground should just open.
Yeah.
So that would just enter.
Yes, I felt that. I was like, even though the drivers they come, fine girl, and they touch me, just shout. But I felt so
Embarrassed.
gay.
Oh my God.
And my pastor told me that she dreamt that got pregnant.
No way.
So because he knew working with one driver and he dreamt that I got pregnant. So so the thing was like that
Morenikeji's heart in my thinking about it. I'm just asking myself, as a young person, family, I'm saying church, and I'm saying school, people play. I want to get to how you got to be in a house help. Like, how did you? I know that all these are happening. Then how did you end up there?
okay.
Because I'm sure that's a turning point.
Yeah. So we just continue surviving, and my grandma got sick, really sick. She got stroke, and my uncle told me that you have to stop working because I later left selling when I was done with school. I was learning computers. I was working in the bookshop. In the evening, I still sell once in a while when I
How many jobs did you have?
when I have energy. So my grandma got sick. She had stroke, and we took her to the hospital. And my uncle was like, "Oh, your mama don't be sick now, so you can't be working again. You have to stay with her in the hospital." I had to stay in the hospital
Again.
yeah. So I think we spent a month in the hospital. So I didn't go home. They didn't allow me to go home. So I was bathing at night, look for somewhere to bath.
Oh my God.
And I was with her in the hospital. And my house rent was due. because I was not working. So when she got discharged, my uncle was like, okay, your mama don't well, yeah, when they go? I was like, ask rent. He was like, you find it. Well, do you know how much you spend for hospital bills? And we went back. Then we were staying in Oluku in Benin, and my landlady was asking for rent. So I got scared that I don't want her BP to rise so that she will not die. So I took her to the first son house, and he chased her out and took her to the house. And he called me and was like, you left your mother, she took care of you when nobody was there, so you're ungrateful and blah blah blah. And they
Not
started
your mother, your grandmother.
exactly.
Really?
They started threatening me. It was a lot. And first son wife came that I was a bad everybody to get married to me. That why will I leave my past old grandmother with her? And she insulted me, so I was depressed. I tried.
What age were you that you started getting depressed?
I was 16.
Oh, a 16-year-old with depression? No way.
So I started taking alcohol because I was selling, I wasn't drinking. So I started taking. And my friend one day told me that, sure, you have one uncle in Lagos. Call him now. So that I heard that then Lagos was like abroad. That if people feel that when you go to Lagos,
Honestly, it's
you have money. So I was like, I'm not close to this person. And he was like, call him. So I called my uncle and was like, talk to my wife. And yeah, so the wife was like, okay, you can come, you can't work here, but take care of my children, take care of the house, cook, wash clothes, do everything. Then we'll send you to school.
house hair work.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how house girl works. Okay.
Yeah, so I was excited. Going to Lagos was a lot because my period started on the journey, and I didn't eat for 4 days so that I would be able to gather the
Money.
transportation. Because I didn't want to call him and now say I don't have transport. So I just felt I would sort that out. And my I got to Lagos, and the wife was so nice. My uncle was nice. The children, it was going fine, so they had the first child. Everything was nice. First time somebody bought soap, cream, and it was just going nice. I was enjoying the work because that was the first time somebody took care. That I left my grandma. I ran away from home. I ran away from home because it was like I wanted to, like, that you can't read and you are eating your that was what I was everything, and that was it. And I was asking me when my uncle was asking me for money that comfort. The thing with rich man is because it was my grandma elder brother's child.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like, so it's not because of us, you will not know have this opportunity. I was glowing, I was getting fat, I was living the life. They got me the phone, everything was just going well, and I was doing the work even though it was stressful. But sometimes the woman she used to have
You understand?
she used to almost finish and just wake up this morning and like, I'm not suffering because of my children, and she would just be insulting me. I can be cool. Like, "Mama, this food is nice," and she would like, "Is that your grandma that has to cook? Why is the oil like this? Why is the oil too like?" But she was
But
nice.
she was nice. I like
So,
that.
so I was not complaining. I was like, this one is better than where I was coming from.
Way better.
Way better. So I didn't even care. Like I would just cry sometimes, sleep and wake up, and it was going fine. And I wrote jam, and I got.
So this family paid this jam. That means they are good people.
Yeah, they are good.
So even though they brought you in and accepted you to stay as workers, their house help in their home, supporting their children and them at home, they still provided the basic things that you need. So if you're listening and you bring people or young girls from your family members to live with you, please treat them nice. Provide the basic things that you heard Morenikejimi mentioned, the roll on, the things that she used. They bought those things for her.
So I got admission and everything changed. So I don't know. And when I sleep, I wake up, I see something like sperm on my on my body. I was like, but I don't see anybody. So I was like, am I dreaming? So I went to fasting. I did 21 days fasting. I was feeling, now I'm enjoying. Why am I having that kind of thought? I'll wake up, I'll see somebody squeezing my boobs. What was that? So the thing keep going on. It went off from 6 months. But if I wake up, I don't see anybody. I'm all alone in the room.
Do you think you were drunk?
I don't even know. But after my 100 level first semester, second semester, my mom went to work. The wife went and he went. Then I was in the kitchen and he just came and grabbed me. And I know it was like magic. I was like, am I dreaming? So that was the first after the 6 months of having, I don't know if it's dream, but that thing was
That one was not real.
it was real because I was seeing like discharge on my lap and all that. So he grabbed me and started handling me like
No way.
like
No way.
like
No
I
way.
was terrified. Like I was begging him. He was like, I'm not going to do anything to you, and he was touching me. Like, you know, when somebody touch you and you feel dirty.
So you were abused by this
Yes.
man, who's
Yes.
supposed to be your uncle, and it's really related to you by
Yes.
blood.
Yes.
You know, so I think that is the thing with uncles and people trying to either abuse people, you know, that live with them, or, and if you listened last week, I mentioned a part of it. If you missed the show, we might air it, but you are hearing it again, you know. So if you're an uncle, you have someone living with you, is a aunt, your niece or whatever, you can do better than this. Please, you can do better. Please tell us.
So I was begging, and I don't know what happened. The wife didn't go to work that day. There was traffic in Lagos, and she came back, and he ran upstairs, and my cloth was tore, and then I just squat because I didn't know what to do. And she was like, "Why is my husband's car here?" I was like, "Oh, he's upstairs." So I don't know if she saw, like, I cannot tell. So she went up. I didn't know what my uncle told her, and she came down. And me, I just run to my room, change, and I was just dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say because this person is a leader in church. He was Everybody thought he was my savior, my helper. Me, I thought it was my helper.
Well, this happened.
This happened, and I wanted to go back to school, so I was just waiting.
So what university were you at that
I
time?
went to Olabisi Olubanjo University,
Okay.
in Ogun State. So I wanted to go to school, so I left for school.
That's what they call OSU, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
So I went for school, and I wanted to get food stuff, like ask friends. And my uncle would tell me that if you don't come, there's no money for you.
And then when you come, what happens?
And I was like, this thing is wrong. Like, you get, he was older. He was like way older than me. He had 4 children, so the age. So I was begging him, and he said no. So he was like, he's not going to sleep with me. He just want to feel me.
No
And
way.
so I didn't know who to talk to. Like, there was literally nobody to talk to. Like,
So what about on the church where he goes to? You didn't make friends. You didn't. There's nobody.
Call the name of the church.
No. I know you're not calling names here, but you didn't make friends. You
I
didn't.
didn't make friends. I was just that I didn't want to make friends, so that I will not do something that will offend them. So
Okay.
I was just trying to be a good girl because they provided me. So I didn't have friends and that. So it's continue. And in
course.
200 level, I wanted to pay school fees, and he said I have to continue.
So each time you want to get money, you have to come back and him.
Yeah,
He
sometimes I would
abuses
be
you, and then
strong-headed. Like, sometimes I would get strong-headed. I have friends in school, and name is Kemi. She would give me food. I'll go to her house. She didn't know what was happening. People felt it was my dad. Do you understand? So they didn't know. My lecturer was so like nobody. So I have a best friend, so we went to secondary school together. So she would send me money. So she was working, she would send me money. But when I got to 200 level, I needed to pay school fees, pay house rent, register for course. So I called him. He said I should come to Lagos. And I was like, okay, let me just try my luck. So I called my grandma's son that was abroad. I was like, uncle, I could not tell him. So I told my best friend, and she was crying. Both of us were crying on the phone.
oh no.
And she called my uncle and told my uncle. That's from my mom's
Yes.
side. And I called him, was like, I need money. And my uncle told me that he has that his building that is his priority. He
Of course.
doesn't have.
Yes.
And I was shocked. Like, so even though I told you what was happening,
Oh, you told him what this man was doing.
and he was like, that's not his concern. So I have an auntie too. And I called her. She was married to a pastor. So I told her.
You have family of people that are in church.
My family is very big, but
Yes.
no one gave a fly about me. So I called her. She was like, why will he do that now? Oh, that was what she said.
So nobody called this man on the phone to say, why are you abusing Morenikeji? Why are you doing this?
A rich man is.
Wow.
So my auntie, they don't say anything, and they start talking about me. And they didn't solve any problem. They didn't like, what will you do? They didn't talk to him, and they started gossiping that blah blah blah.
That must have hurt.
It's a lot.
That must have
So I felt so alone. I know I've always been alone, but that one hit differently. So after everything, I just told my best friend I'm going to Lagos. And I called my pastor to another my pastor, and she was like, "You are too ambitious. Why will you go to school? You were learning, you were doing a good job, they were paying you 30,000. But why are you going to school?" I didn't know why I want to go to school, but I just have that mind that if I go to school, I will leave poverty.
Yes, of course. And you know that I mentioned that last week on the show, that one of the reasons why we're doing this at Beyond Her Alt is to encourage girls to say, try as much as possible to get something for yourself, something going for yourself, especially for those who have given up on school, to say, can I go back to school again? Yes, you can, if you can, find a way, start a business, or, any way you can find a way to go back to school, something for yourself. Of course, poverty is one of the reasons why you want to go to school, so that you can cut off from the cycle of poverty in your family. So I completely understand that vision of, if only I can go to school and get a university degree, my life will be better. Of course, it did happen. It was true. Because when I did get a university degree, my life became better because it gave me a better platform. I met more people, better people that are better than where I was coming from. So my network expanded. So yes, going to school and getting an education will do that. Give you, I always say, education and give you experience, and of course, you become an expert.
Yeah.
So yes, it's not I agree with you. It's a good thing. But then, how did you graduate from school?
I slept with him.
So you became a norm.
Yeah.
So each time you want money, you just go to this alcohol. Morenikejimi, you need to take a breath. Take a deep breath. All of us take a deep breath. People of God, if you're listening, it's heartbreaking that when she had to just giving, and now all she's just doing is, if she wants money, she just gives into this man and his desires. Still here with the bold and brilliant Morenikeji, someone who I say, she doesn't look. She has gone from being abandoned by her mother, because no, we don't know the real story. Of course, she was abandoned, then lost her father, being maltreated by her stepmother, to now taking care of her grandmother by herself as a young girl, out of school, and then God brought her an angel who supported her, part of her schooling, and then ended up in her uncle's house, who is now abusing her, and she's helping his house, but he had to put her through school, and he's abusing her. And Morenikeji has gotten to a place where she's saying, you know what? It's okay. He should just abuse me. At least he's paying my school fees. This is raw. This is unfiltered. But this is how Morenikeji survived. And we're really happy that you're here on the show. We have just a few more minutes to go, but I just want us to come to a part where we've heard part of the story. We can't run through all your story. But at what point did you feel like, you know what, everything that's happened to me right now, I'm taking it back. I'm taking back power. I want to do something about it. At what point?
2020.
How old were you then, if you don't mind me asking?
I think 26. Yeah, 26. I was praying for Shiloh. So I just wrote my prayer request that I want to love myself. I think that was the only thing I wrote on that list, that I want to love myself, because I just wanted family validation. But it was not coming, so I was like, I just want to love myself. So I want to love myself. I don't want to feel pity for myself. I don't want to think that my life is terrible or I'm doing terrible things. So I just went this year. That means we're entering 2021. I'm not going to reach out to anybody. I'm not going to go to Lagos. And because I've been doing those things, but I was battling abuse, battling PCOS, battling bully from school.
Even in university?
Yes, I was.
University.
I was the class rep, and
You
class rep, and people feel that
okay.
So I started watching cartoon to learn. So I went. We speak pidgin, so I didn't know it was bad. could not make a sentence in English.
Oh,
So
okay.
everybody was like, you don't understand, you just there, you're from me. So they felt my uncle was my dad. So they felt, you are rich, you are doing this.
And you can speak English.
So
Yeah, bullied for that. So
yeah, so I was bullied for that. So I just said, I don't want to feel pity for myself again. And I was like, if I'm going to enter any relationship, I'm going to tell the boy everything. I don't want to walk in eggshell.
you,
I don't
you
want
don't think that was a dangerous thing
I
to
didn't
do?
care. I'm not going to get married, but in case I want to, I am not going to keep anything because I'm tired of walking on eggshell. So yeah, so 2021, I decided to go for therapy. So I went to see a psychologist and a therapy, and I felt it was not working, but it was because each session I cry
Or
and cry. So I kept going. And throughout 2021, I just focused on my mental health because I was toxic. I was a mess. Like
yeah. So you moved from did it make you move from relationship to relationships? Because I've heard someone told me this, like, oh, being abused made her move from relationship to, but was that something that happened to you?
it did not. I just like if somebody is telling me that I like you, I just feel you want to sleep with me. So even though when people were coming, they were buying me things, I was just not moved. Like I beg you. So I didn't have that love. I just knew that it's only me that can love myself. So even though when people were so nice, I used to break up with them. Like, why are you so nice? How can you love me more than my family? So I used to have that. So that was where I said, okay, I want to build
And did it
myself.
work? That time when you took out to yourself and say, I want to do this for myself, did it work?
It did.
It did.
It did.
And that's the power of taking back control. You know, the world takes control, tries to take control of your path, your life by dishing out things that would deter you from the path that you're supposed to walk.
Yeah.
And of course, I always say that, oh yeah, the path that we're working will eventually take us to the path that we ought to be. We and all that, but we have to take control and own the journey. And so people listening and you're feeling like Morenikeji, she's telling my story and I don't know where to start from. I don't know where to go from here. I'm probably a caregiver or a house help, or I'm living in my uncle's house. I'm being abused by my family. I've completely given in because I need to survive. She's here telling us that you can reclaim that power and change your story. And so I like to always ask this question, to people when I talk to people, which I want to bring on the show to say, what would you tell your younger self? If you had an opportunity to do something different, as a younger self, what would you tell your younger self to do that would help a young person listening? Because this show is targeted especially at young people who would see this, encounter this challenge, try to use the lessons from your story to go beyond their own odds. So what would you tell your younger self or a young girl that is sitting in front of you or listening to this show to say, this is what you can do better, A, B, C, to help you go beyond your odds?
Okay, for me, I would say love yourself. Love yourself because if you don't love yourself, people are going to use you. People are going to betray you, and you are just going to be desperate for somebody to love you. So please love yourself. I know this world is crazy. I love it, and this life is already difficult. So imagine living in a difficult life and not loving yourself. You're going to be a people pleaser, and you will not go far. And I will also say have a support system. My best friend, I can't do without her.
You can.
She was the she's just we are age mates, but she was my father, my mother.
She's in your life?
Yes.
Oh, shout out to the
Name
best
is
friend.
Eunice. She's still in my life. So when I feel range, I used to pour into her. Like I rant, I complain, and she just listens. So have somebody you can actually pour into and be organic. Like you don't have to pretend, because she was the only person that did not pretend to. Yeah. And my husband too, because he was my friend.
Then that's what we're closing of the show.
So he was my
Yeah.
friend too. So I had somebody that I could talk to. They didn't judge me, and they just listen and give me hug or anything I want. So it's very important as a young person.
Yes. So if you're listening to the show, your voice matter and your story matter. And thank you so much for sharing your story. But before we go, I want to talk about you. You're married now. And you mentioned earlier, because we have like 5 minutes to go, you mentioned that you decided at some point that if any man asks you out, you tell him everything that happened to you. Was that what happened with you and your husband? How did meet him and just tell him your story and he just took pity on you and married you? Or, so in a few minutes, just tell us how, and did the being married cause a turnaround? Was it the marriage that turned you around, or you had a turnaround before you met him?
Okay, I've known my husband since 2012, even before I went to Lagos.
Okay.
So we have been friends, communicating. When the thing was happening, it was just that friend I dumped on. So I didn't know we were going to have anything. So I didn't know we were going to have anything. But after I started therapy and it was just there, I was like, I know it because the first time he met me in 2012, he said, I'm going to marry you. I was like, yes, you. Because he's a church person. I was like, no. So when I was drinking, smoking, he was like, even if you do understand, I'm going to marry you. So I just knew after therapy and I've healed to some extent, I just knew that this was not pity. So I just knew that, should I say it was the one? So yeah, so I just knew that this person give me peace. When I talk to him, I can be myself without being judged and all that. So
Or thank you so much, Morenikejimi. So if you're listening, this is Beyond Her All Show, and this is episode 1 of our 12 weeks journey. And we're interviewing incredible and phenomenal women who have gone through major challenges in life but rose to overcome. And they're using that to inspire other girls. So close with your go beyond phrase, or a sentence to say, this might go beyond, go beyond, something about to inspire girls, especially who are listening, who might be in this position with you.
don't do pity party. Don't do pity party. I know you're going to be down. Just dust yourself. One day everything will be a story. Before, when I said talk about my story, I used to share tears.
Yeah.
But just normal. It's just normal. Life goes on.
Life goes on. If you're listening to me, this is Raquel Kasham Daniel, the Call Me RKD, saying your life is still ahead of you. Morenikejimi didn't just survive. She has become a light for others. Another powerful story that reminds us all of the strength that we have within us and the strength we need to rise to and to thrive. And we're grateful to our guest today for sharing her story with us. But then in the meantime, if you want to connect with us, please go to Instagram at Beyond Her Odds. One word together. Beyond Her Odds. Drop a comment, drop your thoughts, drop your questions. Send us, someone that would like to be a guest on the show. We have a lot of people, of course, but we love to have incredible stories like this to share, to inspire other people who would love to hear from you. Please, 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 don't forget, your story matter. And reach out to us, speak to us, and we'll be here again next week, Thursday. Morenikejimi, thank you very much for this with us. And shout out to your hubby for letting you come, the amazing man that just saw you. Okay, good. Thank you so much again, everyone. This is Beyond That Show. My name is Raquel Kasham Daniel. You can call me RKD, and I'll see you again next week. Until then, keep safe.